सो गाइस, आज हम पढ़ने जा रहे हैं इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक वेव्स का लेक्चर 03। बहुत ही ज़्यादा इंपॉर्टेंट लेक्चर अब से स्टार्ट होने जा रहे हैं, क्योंकि यूजुअली कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम में क्वेश्चंस यहीं से पूछे जाते हैं। मोस्ट ऑफ द क्वेश्चंस आर फ्रॉम दिस साइड, दैट्स प्रॉपर्टीज ऑफ इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक वेव्स। तो आज इस लेक्चर में हम पढ़ने जा रहे हैं हम कैसे इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक वेव को रिप्रेजेंट करेंगे, दैट इज रिप्रेजेंटेशन ऑफ वेव। वेलोसिटी ऑफ वेव कैसे निकालेंगे, वहाँ से रिफ्रैक्टिव इंडेक्स और प्रेशर एक्सर्टेड ऑन ए सरफेस बाय इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक वेव वो कैसे निकालेंगे। तो मैंने क्या कहा था आपको, मैंने ये कहा था कि जो भी हमारी इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक वेव होती है इसमें बेसिकली ऑसिलेशंस ऑफ चार्जेस होती है। ये जनरेट होती है बिकॉज ऑफ एक्सेलरेटेड चार्ज। एक्सेलरेटेड चार्ज, एक्सेलरेटेड चार्ज इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक वेव जो होती है ये जनरेट होती है बिकॉज ऑफ एक्सेलरेटेड चार्ज। इट इज जनरेटेड बिकॉज ऑफ एक्सेलरेटेड चार्ज। जो भी एक्सेलरेटेड चार्ज होती है वो क्रिएट करती है इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड को और मैग्नेटिक फील्ड को। और जो ये इलेक्ट्रिक और मैग्नेटिक फील्ड होते हैं ये ऑसिलेशंस करते हैं, ये म्यूचुअली परपेंडिकुलर मूव कर रहे हैं। बाय म्यूचुअली परपेंडिकुलर डायरेक्शंस आई मीन दैट अगर हमारा इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड इस डायरेक्शन में जा रहा है, if this is our electric field, this is our electric field like this, electric field goes like this, means if our electric field goes like this, this is our electric field goes like this, then our magnetic field has to be perpendicular to this, means our magnetic field has to move like this. Means if our electric field moves like this, it oscillates like this, our electric field is oscillating in this direction, our magnetic field has to oscillate in this direction perpendicular to the electric field. Means my magnetic field is oscillating in this direction, my electric field is oscillating in this direction, then my magnetic field has to oscillate in this direction. That means they should be mutually perpendicular to each other. I think you got it. Now see, for example, this is a plane, ये मेरे पास प्लेन है, इस प्लेन के ऐसे my electric field for example move कर रहा है, oscillate कर रहा है, this is electric field which is oscillating like this in the plane. तो अगर इस प्लेन के ऐसे हमारा इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड मूव कर रहा है, इन दिस डायरेक्शन मूव कर रहा है, तो हमारे मैग्नेटिक फील्ड को इस डायरेक्शन में मूव करना पड़ेगा, दैट्स परपेंडिकुलर टू द इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड। मीन्स हमारा मैग्नेटिक फील्ड ऐसे ऑसिलेट करना चाहिए। अगर हमारा इलेक्ट्रिक फील्ड ऐसे ऑसिलेट करता है, इट मीन्स दैट द मैग्नेटिक फील्ड कंपोनेंट ऑफ एन ऑसिलेटिंग वेव and the electric field component of an oscillating wave, they should be mutually perpendicular to each other. Means if the electric field oscillates like this, then the magnetic field has to oscillate like this. Magnetic field has to oscillate perpendicular to this. The perpendicular means like this. Electric field like this, magnetic field like this. For example, let this is our x-axis and this is our y-axis and this is our z-axis. Now see, our electric field, if it moves in y direction, we have electric field component in y direction and magnetic field component in z direction, then they are mutually perpendicular and the direction of propagation of the wave is also perpendicular to both electric and magnetic field. Means the direction of propagation of wave is then in x direction. Or if we have electric field in x direction, magnetic field in y direction, then the direction of propagation of wave should be in z direction. Means the three, they should be perpendicular each other. The three means the electric field component, the magnetic field component, this electric field component of a wave, this magnetic field component of wave, and direction of propagation of wave, direction of propagation of wave, they should be mutually perpendicular to each other, they should be mutually perpendicular to each other, It means that if our electric field moves like this, it means that if this is a plane, if our electric field moves like this, my magnetic field has to move like this and my propagation of wave should be like this. Now this is about the direction of propagation. This electromagnetic wave is only generated when we have accelerated charge. If we have a rest charge, that cannot generate electromagnetic wave. Now the question is how we can represent this electromagnetic wave. Any wave can be represented by the general expression. Y is equal to a sine, y is equal to a sine. This a stands here for amplitude. This a stands for amplitude. If you do not remember like this, before sine, whatever is presented that represents this amplitude. A sine omega t, a sine y is equal to a sine kx minus omega t. Y is equal to a sine kx minus omega t. This k, it is related to wavelength. Every wave has a wavelength. It has a frequency. It has a time period. This k, it is related to wavelength by the formula 2 pi by lambda. It is related to wavelength by the formula 2 pi divided by lambda, where lambda is wavelength. And this omega, it's called angular frequency. It's called angular frequency. तो मैंने क्या कहा यहाँ पे, मैंने कहा जो भी हमारी वेव है उसको एक तरीका होता है रिप्रेजेंट करने का. कोई भी वेव हो उसको एक अपना तरीका होता है रिप्रेजेंट करने का. वो तरीका क्या है? इफ दिस अ वेव, दिस अ कंपोनेंट ऑफ अ वेव, इस वेव का हम जनरली लिखते हैं a ऑफ साइन. दिस इज एम्पलीट्यूड ऑफ साइन k x, that is direction of propagation of wave in x direction, minus omega t. This is general representation. Now हमारी जो वेव है वो इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक वेव है. उसमें तो दो कंपोनेंट्स हैं, electric field component and magnetic field component. We can represent that electric field component and magnetic field component separately. If we write here electric field component comparing with this equation, y is equal to a sine kx minus omega t. If we write it with electric field component, this is our electric field component and this is our magnetic field component. Now electric field component E will be equal to amplitude, that is E naught over here, sine of kx minus omega t. Generally you have to remember this equation, then you can use for electric field and magnetic field, where E naught is amplitude of sine component of a wave and k is related to wavelength. K is equal to 2 pi by lambda. Omega is angular frequency, where E naught is equal to amplitude of sine component of wave, amplitude, and this k is related to wavelength. It is 2 pi by lambda. Omega is angular frequency. It's angular frequency. This is the general approach of how you can write a particular wave equation. Now this is for sine component, we write this wave equation. Similarly we for electric field component, similarly we have, हमारे पास में क्या है, हमारे पास में मैग्नेटिक फील्ड भी है. तो मैग्नेटिक फील्ड कंपोनेंट को अगर हम इसी वेव से रिप्रेजेंट करेंगे तो y के बदले क्या लिखेंगे? मैग्नेटिक फील्ड. एम्पलीट्यूड यहाँ a है, यहाँ एम्पलीट्यूड b नॉट बनेगा और साइन को ऐसे ही रहने दो, kx minus omega t. This is representation of magnetic field component of a wave. This is how we can represent a wave. तो हमने यहाँ तक क्या पढ़ा? हमारे पास एक इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक वेव है. इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक वेव because of oscillation of accelerated charge जो क्रिएट होती है, इसमें oscillation of electric and magnetic field होता है. The electric and magnetic field, they move perpendicular to each other. If this is electric field, then magnetic field has to be like this and direction of propagation of wave has to be like this. Means all the three has to be mutually perpendicular to each other. Now the question was, हम कैसे इस वेव को रिप्रेजेंट करेंगे? किसी भी वेव को रिप्रेजेंट करना है तो ये वाली जनरल इक्वेशन लेनी है, y is equal to a sin kx minus omega t, where a हमारा एम्पलीट्यूड होता है, साइन कंपोनेंट होता है, k हमारा वेवलेंथ से रिलेटेड होता है 2 पाई बाई लैम्डा. इससे हम वेवलेंथ निकाल सकते हैं and omega is angular frequency, t is time period. Now number second characteristic is velocity of wave. This was first, that was representation of wave. Now अगर हम यहाँ पे कहेंगे इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक वेव होती क्या है, ये बेसिकली होती है इलेक्ट्रोमैग्नेटिक वेव एक कपल्ड इंटरेक्शन होता है. कपल्ड इंटरेक्शन आई मीन बोथ इलेक्ट्रिक एंड मैग्नेटिक फील्ड इंटरेक्शंस. Both of these interactions are time dependent interactions. Actually these waves are coupled time dependent interactions between electric and magnetic field. Now number second point is velocity of wave. Velocity of wave. How can we determine velocity of wave? Now see, velocity of wave can be different in different mediums. Now let us take in free space and then we will discuss it in any medium and then we will derive ratio of those, that is refractive index. Now velocity of wave c is equal to 1 divided by mu naught epsilon naught, square root of mu naught epsilon naught. C is equal to 1 divided by square root of mu naught epsilon naught, square root of mu naught epsilon naught, where this mu naught and epsilon naught, this is called permeability of free space, and this epsilon naught, it is called permittivity, of free space, मतलब अगर हम फ्री स्पेस में वेलोसिटी को डिफाइन करेंगे तो हमें म्यू नॉट का वैल्यू फ्री स्पेस में लेना है, दैट्स परमिएबिलिटी ऑफ फ्री स्पेस, और एप्सिलॉन नॉट का वैल्यू फ्री स्पेस में लेना है, दैट इज परमिटिविटी ऑफ फ्री स्पेस. दिस म्यू नॉट इज इक्वल टू 4 pi into 10 raised to power minus 7 Tesla meter, it is Tesla meter per second, and this epsilon naught, its value is equal to 8.85 into 10 raised to power minus 16 into 10 raised to power minus 11 Newton meter coulomb square Newton meter square. Now if we substitute the value of this and this in this equation, then C comes out to be 3 into 10 raised to power 8 meters per second. This is the value of velocity. It has been obtained from this equation. Now क्या हमेशा velocity की speed ही होगी? This is the speed of the wave. क्या हमेशा wave की speed ही होगी 3 into 10 raised power 8? No, it will depend upon the medium. अगर हमारे पास free space है तो यही value होगी. अगर हमारे पास कोई और medium होगा, then it will definitely differ, because mu 0 for any other medium it will be different, epsilon naught for any other medium it will be different. Therefore let us consider this velocity, let us determine this velocity for any other medium. We will denote this velocity by v for any other medium, other than free space. For any medium v will be equal to 1 divided by mu e. Why not mu naught? Mu naught is for free space, e naught is for free space. Now I have taken a medium, therefore I can select this naught, I use it only mu and e. If I take ratio of these two, that's v by c, that means velocity of wave in medium to the velocity of wave in free space. What is value of v? It is 1 by under root of 1 by mu e, that is mu epsilon. What is value of c? It is under root of 1 by mu naught epsilon naught. Now take the ratio, you will get 1 divided by mu e into under root of mu naught e naught by 1, or you will get, this will be equal to v by c will be equal to mu naught e naught, that's mu naught e naught the epsilon naught divided by mu epsilon, mu naught e naught divided by mu epsilon, mu naught, sorry for disturbance, mu naught e naught divided by epsilon. This is root of, or you can write it root of mu naught by mu and epsilon naught by epsilon. This is equal to v by c. This is the ratio of velocity of wave in any medium to the velocity of wave in any medium to the velocity of wave in free space. Now what is this called? It's called a refractive index. This is refractive index. This is refractive index. Now what will be this called? This is permittivity of medium in free space divided by permittivity of medium in a medium. This is permeability of a medium in free space divided by permeability of medium in any medium, and this is permittivity of in free space divided by permittivity in any medium. Means this is relative permeability and this is relative permittivity. Therefore it will be equal to mu r into epsilon r. Relative permeability permeability in medium, and relative permittivity in free space. This is our refractive index. Now this is velocity of wave. Number third is pressure exerted by wave. Pressure exerted by wave. Does a wave exert pressure? If it exerts pressure, there should be momentum. If there is momentum, there should be kinetic energy. That is the question. Now see, a wave travels, it's a wave, it's traveling and it strikes this surface. Once it strikes the surface, it strikes on certain unit area. Let this is unit area on which this wave strikes. Now if this wave strikes, it strikes with a force F and it strikes on a certain unit area, that's A. This F by A, it's called pressure. Means whenever a wave strikes to a surface, it creates pressure. For example, if you strike this whiteboard with a marker, it will create pressure on this. See, pressure is created, that's why this board bends inside. Pressure is created. Similarly, whenever a wave strikes a metal surface, pressure is created. Let us determine how much pressure is created. How can we determine that pressure? That's number third characteristic. That is pressure. EM waves exert pressure. EM waves exert pressure on the surface of particles to which they strike. On the surface of particles. किसी भी particle से अगर ये for example collide करेगी तो उस पे क्या होगा? प्रेशर exert होगा. हमें भी determine करना है वो प्रेशर कितना होगा. Now see, we can use simple concept. We know that E is equal to mc square. Now I can write it like this. This is mc into c. Now what is mc or mv? C is the velocity. Mass into velocity is momentum. That is momentum into c is equal to E. Now this is energy. It's not electric field. It is energy. This is energy. It's not electric field. It's energy. E is equal to P into C. Or P will be equal to E by C. P will be or P will be equal to P here. This is E. This is C. That means P will be equal to E by C. Or P is equal to E by C. Now see, this P is equal to E by C. What is this P actually equal to? It's momentum. This momentum is equal to mass into velocity. Therefore, I will write mass into velocity is equal to E by C, energy by C. Now, what is mass into velocity? We know that acceleration is equal to velocity by time. Acceleration is equal to velocity by time. Or velocity is equal to acceleration into time. Can we use the value of velocity over here? Yes. Let us use the value of velocity. Mass into acceleration into time. This is velocity. Acceleration into time is equal to E by C. Now see, what is F into A? What is M into A? M into A is F. This is Newton's second law of motion. From Newton's second law of motion, F is equal to ma into T is equal to E by C. Now अगर हम इस T को यहाँ पे शिफ्ट करेंगे, F will be equal to E by CT. Now हमें प्रेशर की इक्वेशन लानी है. We know that pressure is equal to force by area. तो किस चीज की कमी है? एरिया की कमी है. इस इक्वेशन को दोनों साइड से एरिया से डिवाइड करेंगे. डिवाइड बाय एरिया. Divide by area on both sides. Then it becomes F by A is equal to E divided by CT into A. CT into A. Now this F by A, it's pressure. Now the terms are different. This is pressure, this is momentum. This is momentum. This is momentum, this is pressure. This pressure P is equal to E divided by CT A. If we have a unit area and a wave moves and a wave oscillates for only 1 second, then this pressure is equal to E by C. Then this pressure is equal to E by C, that's equal to momentum. Now what is the general interpretation? That's very important. If our wave strikes a unit area, that's A is equal to 1 centimeter square, and it moves and it oscillates for 1 second, that's T is equal to 1 second, then pressure P is equal to E divided by C into 1, that's E divided by C. Now see, this momentum, it's also equal to E divided by C. In that case, this pressure will be equal to momentum. pressure will be equal to moment. Now these equations are very important. I may finish my class lecture here. In the next lecture we will discuss density of the wave and energy of the wave. How can we determine energy associated with the wave and how can we determine density of the wave. Thanks for watching this video. अगर आपको लगता है कि इन वीडियो से आपको कुछ मिल रहा है तो प्लीज़ लाइक प्रेस लाइक बटन. थैंक्स फॉर वॉचिंग.